So you are who you are because you've become accustomed to who you are, and you have accustomed other people to be accustomed to who you are. What if you were so many other possibilities? So this is the end of the year meditation. But in fact, it's more about how I will start the next year. To become a different me in a certain area, whether it's health, wealth, friendships, loverships, awakenings, or energy, consciousness. I am so accustomed to the self, and I can make small changes. But what if we could create a jump? If it were a record, if it could jump, like skip a tune, just jump to a new tune, a new rhythm, and I could accept that and become that being or that expression of this being. So the universe wants everything good for you, and everything is there for you. You might need to change something, struggle a little bit, open a new venue. And these micro movements, we might have decided that that's too difficult, or that's not there for me, or this life, it must just be that this is not for me, because it's been hard and we've noticed the resistance. And so instead of saying there's something in me that just resists this, if I could let go of it, a little bit like a dam in a river, if I could just let go of it, the river would flow free. So you're invited to timeline jump without identifying what is wrong. Because usually there is, oh, this is the boulder that is creating a dam. I must fix it, understand it, remove it. And they would like you to be able to timeline jump without having to fix, without having to heal, just with your desire. It's a bit like, I'm going to give you an airline ticket to a nice destination, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. Would you travel if you knew everything was taken care of? There we go. So pick your subject, the one you really want, not the one you should do, or so really choose the timeline that you would love to shift. and name it as best you can. So it feels, all of a sudden, it feels kind of heavy, which is a good thing. There have been moments of hope and disillusion and, well, acceptance that this is the way it is. We have blocked all other possibilities. So, first of all, just look at it if you can anew. Yes, you've done all sorts of stuff. And so, how I came to be determines how I carry on forward. That is 3D logic and thinking, which is fine. So the trajectory, we just extend it, and that seems logical. What if I can stop here where I am, take a moment? There we go. And if my traditional trajectory would be carrying on forward straight ahead of me, just ask your consciousness where this timeline shift would be for you. Is it 3/4 to your right? Is it 45 degrees to your left? Ask for an energy imprint of, or a symbol, even if it's not correct, where would that be? And it might be counterintuitive, sorry. It could be behind you, just to prove a point. So don't judge. Imagine you are in a circle now, looking, turning around and feeling where would this timeline jump be? And so you just a feeling. By looking for it, it will start to appear. Even if you get it wrong, just feel that it could be not straight ahead. How I've been working, struggling or pushing or pleading or intending. Just stop and feel. And then feel that timeline. And in a certain distance, Draw a golden circle on the floor. And in that golden circle, that is you, either awakened or happy or wealthy or healthy or in a loving relationship, whatever you intended. And it could be close by, very distant. It's all the same, but it does need to be on that slightly altered timeline. And then what does that look like? The most normal thing would be for you to look happy. With that situation. And there's as if the saying could be worked out just the best way possible, what I hoped for, or even better. I'm going to ask your consciousness to retreat into you. This thing going forward, it's just like a rolling stone. Just stop. Focus on this new timeline. It could be a real thing or a metaphor or just a signif to signify to your consciousness that you are taking a different approach. Mhm. Yeah. Okay. So imagine that it's changing your, if you always write with your right hand, it's like changing a direction. Your conscious doesn't necessarily want to do that. It has somehow said, well, then I must do more of this or fix something better or heal something or go and see someone and um, create a new way of doing it. But it's usually pushing the same way. So I now ask your higher self for this vision to come true, this golden circle you. You're going to ask your quantum self, can you create the timeline? Can you allow yourself to follow it? Can you allow yourself to do whatever is being asked of you, even though it feels strange? I'm going to say something which is quite obvious. The you that you are, unless it's challenged, will carry on being the you that you are. So the you that is this you with wealth, health, partner, or whatever it is a different you. There we go. Quantum consciousness, can you allow yourself to become this you? Leave behind the old way of doing it in 2024. Again, quantum consciousness. In this area of life that has been a little bit difficult for you, has become challenging, only because we insist on doing it a particular way. Can I stop, change direction, and ask for my guide's assistance, my consciousness to be online, on track, for me to do it a different way, something that hasn't occurred to me, I haven't been open to it. The law of attraction says this is the tricky part. When I identify something that I don't have and do want, I am focusing on the lack of that thing. And then if I've tried to heal that lack and I've been having a hard time, then it just gets stagnant there. It gets implanted. It becomes a thing. Instead of saying, oh, that would be great to have in my life. How can I bring this about? It becomes, well, they're showing me a limp. It becomes a limp. So you're still walking and it's great, but now you're limping. There we go. So find that timeline. There we are. That seems to be going well. And then just notice the distance that is between you and that envisioned you. So again, you don't need to do anything. Just imagine there is a gap, either because you're not in the frequency or you're not there yet, or something's happening. Ask your quantum consciousness, how can we bridge that gap? Can we release whatever needs to be let go of? Can we incorporate whatever needs to come into our consciousness? Can we clear concepts and ideas and dogma? And can we bring in anything that helps us on this timeline? So how long have you tried to either create the wealth, the partner, the health, the happiness, open third eye and just acknowledge that it has been difficult or a struggle or annoying. There we go. So what I'm hearing is it has been the like the ego position, the intellectual position of fi figuring it out as if it were a problem to be solved. And it's not following your intuition or your true guidance. And you could even say, I've tried everything. I've done what people suggested. I've put myself out there. I've tried to do this or that or whatever. Will stop. Imagine being whispered into your ear how that can be done, even though you're not understanding the words, it's the energy. And it might seem so foreign to you. And as if your cells were listening to something different, allow them to shift. Oh, someone said it was madness to expect a different result, always doing the same thing. There we go, quantum consciousness. Try it. And I'm going to ask. So it can be an answer for you, but it could be energetically. What would it take for the distance between you and the desired outcome to be smaller, to be shorter? Quantum consciousness, what would it take? Can you see it? So again, what would it take for you to shorten the distance between you and that desired outcome? What attitude, what character shift, what intellectual change, what anything and everything. Just ask yourself. And so, what are the limitations? So, if it were money, is there a natural thinking process that says, I need to work more? That would be a 3D response. It might be true, but not necessarily. Something that you have decided, maybe, which means for awakening, you need to meditate more, or need to be clearer, or be vegetarian. That might be true, but not necessarily. Allow the impulse. You've changed your direction. You're shortening the distance between you and your desired outcome. You're talking to your quantum self that it can shift and create these changes. You are letting go of the way it has always been, allowing something else to take its place. So now you have, well, probably a couple of options, but imagine that there is just a short distance. You can either push yourself into that circle, or you can jump into it. And jumping creates that sensation of, I'm going to jump into this new reality and become it. When we jump, we let go of certain resistance to the earth, to the friction, and we jump into the new reality, like into a pool. We don't know if it's warm or cold or salty or sweet, but it is exactly right. We go. One more. So let go of the needing to know how it's going to happen. You're just jumping into this new timeline, which is your consciousness choosing a timeline that is more favorable for this thing that you've chosen so that you can let go of planning and structuring and behaving as you have. Allow this new year to jump you into a new way of doing this thing that you've chosen. Allow your consciousness to move, choose this shift. There we go. There we go. It's as if you were addicted to following a particular path, even though it didn't give you any satisfaction or it was problematic. And now let's let go of and we can move into different directions. There we go. Mm. Now you might feel it rushing up into your the back of your body. That's where I can feel it like on a group level. With the program we're changing. So you should be standing now in this circle, in this golden circle, feeling maybe a little different. Okay. Okay, deep breath in and come